Hi, fifth graders. Today's topics are going to be a lot of word problems. So, we're going to have word problems with three or more fractions, word problems with mixed fractions, and then we're going to have a worksheet that we're multiplying fractions and whole numbers, and then a worksheet about word problems where we multiply whole numbers. We're going to get started with adding three or more fractions, and in this one, it's going to be word problem. Let's read number 3. Logan did a running drill to get in shape for soccer season. First, Logan ran 4/15 of a mile. 5/15 of a mile. Then he ran half of a mile and 3/14 of a mile. After a break, Logan ran 3/7 of a mile more. How many miles did Logan run in total? So, in order to find out how many miles Logan ran in total, we're going to have to add up all the fractions that we're given in this specific word problem. So, it says that Logan ran at first 5/15 of a mile. 5/14. And it says that he ran half of a mile more. And then it says that he ran another 3/14 of a mile, and then another 3/7 of a mile. So we're gonna have to add these up, all these four fractions up to get the total number of miles that Logan ran. And the first thing that we notice here is that the denominators are not the same. So we want them to have the same denominator. And we know that the LCD would be 14 because both 2, 14, and 7 go into 14. So for the 5/14 and the 3/14, we'll leave it alone. So let's just bring it down. But for the half and the 3/7, we're going to have to multiply to get it to 14. So for the half, we have to multiply it by 7/7. And then for the 3/7, we're going to have to multiply by 2/2. So half times 7/7 will be 7/14. And then 3/7 times 2/2 will give you 6/14. And now we see that we have all the fractions have 14 as their denominator. So our sum will have a denominator of 14. Now we just need to worry about the numerators. So we're just going to add across. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 7 is 15. 15 plus 6 is 21. So our answer would be 21/14. And for this one, you can choose to leave it as a mixed fraction, or a improper fraction. Oh, before I do though, 21/14 can be simplified because you can take out 7, right, from both of them. So we'll be left with 3/2. And so you can leave it as improper fraction, which is 3/2, or a mixed number, which is 1/1 and 1/2. Either or is correct. Just make sure that since this is a word problem, that you label your answer correctly. So it could be either 3/2, or 1 1/2 of a mile, or just miles. And that should be your final answer. Next, we're going to move on to word problems again, but we're going to be adding and subtracting mixed fractions. So let's do number 2. Nolan brought 1 1/16 pounds of green grapes and 1 9/16 pounds of red grapes. How much more did the green grapes weigh more than the red grapes? So we know that we are given the pounds of the green grapes and the pounds of the red grapes. And we know that the green grapes weigh more than the red grapes, and we want to know how much. So we're going to have to subtract. So it'll be 1 and 1/16 minus 1 and 9/16. Wait, that doesn't make sense. I think the question is worded wrong. I think it's supposed to ask how much more did the red grapes weigh more than the green grapes? Or it's supposed to be asking how much more did Nolan buy of the red grapes than the green grapes? Because as you can see, he bought less of the green grapes and more of the red grapes. So we would have to subtract, and I would have to rewrite this in that case because we can't have a negative as our answer. So it'll be 9 over here and 1 over here. So 1 minus 1 is automatically 0, so we're just going to leave it at that. And then 9 minus 1 is 8, and then the denominator just stays 16, so it's going to be 8 over 16. And this will simplify to 1/2. And once again, the word problem is worded weirdly. It should be asking how much more did Nolan buy of the red grapes than the green grapes. And it'll be by 1/2 of a pound. Next, we're going to be dealing with multiplying fractions by whole numbers. Let's do the first one. It's a little hard to read, but it says 1 times 1 over 6. So when you're multiplying fractions by whole numbers, it's actually really easy because as we know that for fractions, we're already given a denominator. But for whole numbers, we're not given a denominator. But what we know is that every whole number is always going to be over 1. So 1 is going to be 1 over 1. It's the same thing. So once we know the denominator, since this is not addition or subtraction, we just need to multiply across both top and bottom. So it'll be for the top 1 times 1, which is just 1, and then 1 times 6 for the bottom, which is just 6. So your answer for number 1 will be 1/6. So for this one, just make sure that your whole numbers are always over 1. And then just multiply across. Next, let's do number 4 for the word problems, multiplying fractions by whole numbers. Number 4 says, the dolphins at the clay aquarium are fed 31 buckets of fish each day. The sea otters are fed 1/8 as much fish as the dolphins. How many buckets of fish are the sea otters fed each day? So it says that the dolphins at the clay aquarium are fed 31 buckets of fish each day. And then that the sea otters are fed 1/8 as much fish as the dolphins. So the otters get fed less than the dolphins. And the question is asking us how many buckets of fish are the sea otters fed each day. So since we know that dolphins are fed 31 buckets of fish each day, and that the sea otters are fed only 1/8 of that, we just need to multiply 31 by 1/8. And as I said in the previous worksheet or the previous page, all whole numbers are over 1. So once I know that, I'm just going to multiply across. So it's going to be 31 over 8. For this one, you can actually choose to just leave it as an improper or mixed fraction. It doesn't matter. Just make sure that, once again, you label it. So it will be 31 over 8. I'm just going to leave it as an improper fraction. 31 over 8 buckets of fish, because we're trying to find out how many buckets of fish the otters are fed each day. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope this video helped you guys a bit.